Yo guys, what's up? Um, Figured I need to do a couple more talent videos because since the last ones a few things have changed. There's been a few buffs, a few nerfs, um, and just the meta has slightly changed. People have learned more stuff. Um, so I figured I'd go over the talents again with what I've learned and let people know what I think is the best for what and what's good for certain situations and stuff. So it would just be like the last talent videos, but updated sort of thing. So first of all, I'm just going to go through and do twos for everything, and then I'm going to go through and do threes because it just makes it a bit easier that way. The penitent at the moment is you only really want it if you really are struggling to get heals off. It's good. It's actually really good, but you kind of need castigation right now. You need the extra bit of damage. Just penance and defensively on cooldown to make that pressure. Without it, you're gonna struggle in the longer games. And then that's actually all you need a lot of the time in terms of offensive talents to do 2v2. Obviously depending on what comp you play, because if you're playing something where you can cast a lot with a caster, with a mage or something, you can play Schism. And if you're going to get a lot of smites off, this is probably your go-to talent, because it's going to be giving you more damage than castigation. Whereas if you're going to be like still healing quite a lot, and you're not going to get as many smites off, castigation is obviously the way to go, because that's going to save you some mana as well. Second tier, everything's pretty similar to before. You want to take Feather most of the time, I guess. If you're going to be playing against something that you're going to need a lot of healing, so like a Windwalker Monk, or stuff that you need a lot of healing late game, so like Ferals, Assassination Rogues, Affliction Lock, stuff like that, then you want Masochism. Just because that extra bit of healing is going to help you out a lot. But against other stuff, generally to get fears off and to kite and stuff, you want your Feather. Haven't been using body and soul as much lately, but if you do want to have some debuff protection, that's good too. You can cast like a Clarity of Will into shield and then have 3 buffs, and then that's a pain in the arse to dispel. Dispel costs quite a lot of mana now, so it's a good way to counter that. Shining Force, don't really use. Psychic Voice you just want always, pretty much no matter what, and Dominant Mind is not usable in Arena, so don't need to worry about that. Power Word Solace, Shield Discipline, Mindbender. So you want Power Word Solace occasionally. Maybe if you're playing like a Priest Rogue Mirror or something, it can be good, because if you don't take Mindbender, you have Shadow Fiend, and that actually does more burst on the use than a Mindbender does. But obviously Mindbender's that 1 minute cooldown, so it's going to be up more often. You're going to be able to burst more often with it. So if you like that, then the Mindbender's a solid choice. Shield Discipline is the best in terms of mana regen. So if you're going to be playing a long game and you don't need any extra damage and you're okay with just having the Shield Discipline, that does give a good amount of mana. It gives about twice as much as Mindbender right now if you use Shield on cooldown. That's assuming it doesn't get dispelled. If it gets dispelled, you don't get the mana. It has to get absorbed. Contrition, pretty much don't use. Power Infusion is good against stuff that isn't gonna go to dampening. If the game is going to dampening, you want Twist of Fate always. It's just gonna be up all the time, and it's just better. Gives you a lot of healing to pick people back up again, and it's just generally a solid choice. Clarity of Will, Divine Star, Halo. Clarity of Will is now 2-second base cast time. Got buffed last patch, which was nice. That just makes it far and above the other 2 talents, in my opinion. Just always, no matter what. There's a few comps in 2s where you can run Halo, and it's more damage. So if you want to be making a lot of pressure and you don't want to be playing like a slow game with Clarity of Wills and stuff, then Halo's the one to go for. I pretty much never go Divine Star. But you do need to bear in mind Clarity of Will is dispellable, but the good thing is it ignores Mortal Strike because it's not a heal, it's an absorb. So that's cool. Last tier, you pretty much always want Grace in Arena. I pretty much haven't used any other talent in that tier in a single game this expansion, so just go with Grace, stick with good stuff. Now 3v3, you mostly want the Penitent. And a lot of the other stuff will be similar in 3v3, but the Penitent is so needed, and you just need that extra heal so that you have a little bit of mobility at least. Because of course you can penance while running. It's Unholy School, so it's on a different school to Shadow Mend, which is really important too. Because if you do get locked on Shadow Mend, you can opt for the penance shield until Shadow Mend comes back up. So I guess most stuff I wouldn't take Castigation in 3s unless you're feeling particularly aggressive and want to one-shot something. But otherwise the Penitent is the go-to thing. Feather, also pretty staple. I don't really run Body and Soul too much in 3s, maybe occasionally against Enhanced Cleaves, just to give that a little bit extra debuff protection, but usually Angelic Feather's the way to go in terms of mobility. Masochism is good against Cleaves. If you know the Cleave is going to train you, Masochism is definitely something you should take. It basically gives you 50% more healing on a Shadow Mend at least. So yeah, it's a good choice. Shining Force, Psychic Voice, Dominant Mind, again, just take Fear. Don't worry about these other talents. Fear is too good to pass up. Fourth tier is going to be generally Mindbender you want to take. You can take Shield Discipline maybe occasionally if you really do find you're struggling for mana. But Mindbender is going to help your team out so much with damage in 3s, especially if you're playing like RMP or something like that, FMP. You can just pop it whenever they're bursting and then go back to keeping them safe. So I wouldn't opt for the other two really in 3s. Mindbender's just so good. Fifth tier, never take Contrition. I don't even use this in PvP, or I don't even use this in PvE. I think this needs a little bit of a rework, but yeah, I think it's kind of boring talent. Twist of Fate is generally a good choice in 3s, unless you're going to be playing like a really fast game where you need to do a lot of things in a short period of time. But any kind of team where you're going to be healing people up from low health, you're going to be getting in CC and healing them up, or there's going to be a lot of damage across the group, dot cleave, stuff like that, you just want Twist of Fate. It's going to give you so much more healing, and you just really need that right now. Clarity of Will, pretty much every game, solid choice. You're not going to be as aggressive in 3s, so throwing out some Clarity of Wills makes a huge difference in how offensive your team can go. If you get 2 of those and a shield up, your rogue can pretty much do what he wants until it ends. So it gives you the time to move into a new position as well, rather than having to spam Shadow Mends every 2 seconds when people start getting a bit low. And then last tier, Grace, just go with it. You've got to take it. It's too good. So yeah, that's talents.